Imagine waking up tomorrow, realizing that everything you know about intelligence, consciousness, and biology is a complete and total lie. You think humans rule the planet? Think again. Deep beneath the waves, hiding in plain sight, is an alien civilization. They don't fly spaceships, they don't build skyscrapers, but they do possess an intellect so terrifyingly advanced that it feels straight out of a science fiction nightmare. I'm talking about the octopus. And once you learn what these creatures are truly capable of, you will never look at the ocean the same way again. Because the octopus isn't just an animal, it's an evolutionary glitch. An entity so bizarre, scientists genuinely wonder if it came from another world. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear sounds impossible. Except every single word is 100% true. Let's start with the basics. Or rather, let's start with something completely alien. If you cut open an octopus, please don't, let's keep this theoretical. You wouldn't find a centralized nervous system like yours. You wouldn't find a single brain running the show. Instead, you'd find 9 brains. Yes, 9. One central brain controls its overall behavior, but the other 8 are mini-brains located directly inside its arms. This means each arm has a mind of its own, literally. If an octopus loses an arm, that arm can still crawl around, hunt for food, and react to stimuli for hours after it's been detached. It's like your hand deciding to cook dinner while you're asleep. And it gets weirder. An octopus doesn't just have one heart, it has 3. 2 pump blood to the gills, while the third pumps it to the rest of the body. And here is the kicker. When an octopus swims, that third heart actually stops beating. Swimming is so exhausting for them that they literally prefer to crawl along the ocean floor. Oh, and their blood? It's not red, it's bright blue. Why? Because it's copper-based, designed to efficiently transport oxygen in freezing deep-sea environments. Imagine having blue blood, 3 hearts, and an army of independent limbs. That's just Tuesday for an octopus. Now, let's talk about their superpower, stealth. Forget chameleons. Chameleons are amateurs compared to this. An octopus has no bones, none. No skeleton, no shell, nothing. The only hard part of its entire body is a beak, roughly the size of a parrot's. And here is why that matters. If the beak can fit through a hole, the entire animal can fit through it. Scientists have watched massive basketball-sized octopuses squeeze themselves through holes the size of a coin. They can liquefy their bodies and slip through microscopic gaps like liquid ghosts. Combine that with their skin. Within a fraction of a second, an octopus can change not just its color, but the actual texture of its skin. It can grow spikes, bumps, and ripples to mimic a jagged rock, a piece of coral, or a patch of seaweed. There is footage of scuba divers swimming right past an octopus, completely unaware that the rock they are looking at is actually a living, breathing, hyper-intelligent predator staring right back at them with slit pupil eyes that look like windows into another dimension. And if camouflage fails, they pull out psychological warfare. Some species can impersonate venomous sea snakes, toxic flounders, and aggressive lionfish to terrify predators. They don't just hide, they act. If you think they're just mindless blobs reacting on instinct, think again. Octopuses are terrifyingly smart. In laboratories around the world, octopuses have repeatedly proven they can solve complex mazes, unscrew jar lids from the inside to get food, and recognize individual human faces. They know who feeds them, and, more importantly, they know who annoys them. There is a famous documented case of an octopus living in a public aquarium that kept mysteriously short-circuiting a bright overhead room light. How? It learned to shoot targeted jets of water out of its tank, hitting the electrical circuit board directly over its enclosure until the light broke. Another octopus figured out how to slip out of its tank at night, crawl across the lab floor, slide into a completely different tank containing fish, eat a midnight snack, and crawl back to its own enclosure before morning, leaving the scientists completely baffled by the disappearing fish mystery. They only solved it by setting up a motion camera. And yes, they have personalities. Some are playful, some are curious, and some are straight up mischievous. There are countless stories of aquarium keepers getting deliberately squirted with water just because the octopus was bored and wanted a reaction. With an intellect this high, you'd think they'd rule the ocean for centuries, right? Well, here is nature's cruelest plot twist. Octopuses live heartbreakingly short lives. Most species only live for 1 to 2 years. Even the giant Pacific octopus rarely makes it past 5. They live fast, and they die young. And their end is one of the most tragic, haunting spectacles in the natural world. When a female octopus lays her eggs, her life effectively ends. She retreats to a hidden cave and enters a state called brood guarding. For months, sometimes half a year, She stays with her eggs. She never leaves. She doesn't hunt. She doesn't eat a single bite of food. She just fans water over the eggs to keep them oxygenated and protects them from predators. Her body slowly wastes away. She begins to self-destruct chemically, a process triggered by her own optic gland. She will tear at her own skin, thrash, and waste away into a shadow of her former self. By the time the tiny baby octopuses hatch and drift away into the current, the mother dies. She pours every ounce of her life force into the next generation, vanishing entirely. They never get to teach their young. They never pass down knowledge. Every single generation of octopuses has to reinvent the wheel from scratch. Imagine if humans had to start from zero every single time. Where would octopuses be if they lived for 80 years? Frankly, it's a good thing they don't. Because if they had a long lifespan to build a civilization, the oceans wouldn't belong to us anymore. Think about that the next time you eat seafood, or the next time you look out at the dark, crashing waves of the ocean. We share this planet with an alien race of blue-blooded, multi-brained masterminds who can change shape, solve puzzles, and outsmart scientists, all before dying a tragic, beautiful death in the dark. The ocean isn't empty. It's watching. If this blew your mind, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment telling me what terrifying sea creature we should dive into next, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay curious.